Arcade Perfect, my Arse. Alright guys, welcome to another Arcade Perfect, my Arse. This video I'm taking a look at Gunsmoke, released by Capcom in 1985. Now this is kinda, I would say it's kinda the sort of sequel to Commando. You know, a very similar game, run and gun, run up the screen, shoot baddies. But it is seriously difficult, it really is, and it's not really that well known a game when you consider how well known Commando is. Gunsmoke is relatively unknown, and it's a game I'd only really tried a couple of times, and because of the difficulty I never really went back to it. But then I did try it a few months ago, and it's actually a really good game. It's got brilliant sound, so let me just bash you, and this is obviously the arcade one. So let me stick a couple of credits in, but we're only going to play one game. What kind of makes this quite original, I don't know what the controls were in the arcade one, but you've got shoot up to the left, up to the right and straight ahead, so you've basically got 3 fire buttons. Like I said, I don't actually know what the original controls were. Like I says, it is fiendishly difficult. You've really got to bugger. You've really got to get the fire button going fast, which isn't particularly easy. As I says, it is savagely difficult. Brutally so, it really is. You could certainly use an auto fire, I would say. What makes it difficult is you've got these wee guys from the windows taking pot shots, plus these guys are just milling about, and they don't just, you know, disappear off the bottom of the screen, they keep kinda coming. So if you don't shoot them, you end up with far too many on the screen like this. But it's a great game, if not too difficult. I know it's an arcade game, but I'd still say it's too difficult. You really want to try and take out the wee guys at the windows as quickly as possible, because if you don't, you're going to die. Yeah, you get a wee horse. But it is so difficult. You would not believe. I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm actually doing quite well here. Hey! It's not often you actually complete a level of this game. And using a 360 joystick or a gamepad is not really the best way to play it. Right, I'm going to have a crack at the second level. I never expected to actually get past the first level. Yeah, you've got to shoot these little barrels and you get sort of extra weapons, although I'm not quite sure what the extra weapons do. It doesn't really seem to make a lot of difference. I can't seem to kill that guy either, I'm not quite sure what he is. Get off! Yeah, it is fiendishly difficult. Yeah, but absolutely brilliant game. So anyway, that is the arcade one. Let's take a look at some of the home versions. Right, okay, kicking things off on the home front, we have the C64 one. Never played this. Like I says, Gunsmoke wasn't a game I was really aware of. It seems to have kind of slipped under the radar. Commando's the game that gets all the accolades. Now, like all 8-bit versions, they're multi-load. I'm not quite sure why, because games like Ghosts and Goblins, Commando, they were all single load. Could it just have been laziness on the part of the programmers? I don't know, I'm not a programmer, so I really shouldn't make comments like that. Now, unlike the arcade one, which has, as I mentioned, it's got 3 fire buttons. You've got fire up to the left, fire up to the right, and fire straight up. All the 8-bit ones, you just basically you hold the joystick to the left and you'll fire to the left, so it basically shoots whatever way you're facing, which is okay, but it means, you know, if you're wanting to be shooting somebody straight up and you're moving to the side, you've got to kind of get in line with them, then, you know, release the joystick to fire up, so it makes it slightly awkward. It's certainly not as easy as the arcade one, you know, as far as aiming. But you kind of, I wouldn't say it's sprite flickering going on, I don't know what's going on there, that guy jumping up and down. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with this one. Well, I mean, you can see there the guy, the cowboy's moving up and down on the left. That doesn't appear in the arcade one. There's nothing really wrong with this. It's not as good a conversion as Commando. Don't know why I mentioned that, because it's irrelevant. But it was programmed by a different company. That looks like a kangaroo. Is that a horse with nobody on it? Let me see, the music isn't the greatest. And they've also introduced a little headstone every time you die. Right, let's give it another go. I mean, you can't even see the guys that are shooting at the windows. You can't even see their faces. All you see is the gun. You see a little bit sticking out. So I wouldn't say this is a particularly accurate conversion. They've kinda done their own thing. I mean, what is that? That looks like it looks like a cross between a kangaroo and a bull. I'm assuming it's a horse with no rider on it. Yeah, graphics are big and chunky. The actual gameplay area is quite small as well. I don't think I would really want to play this game very much. I mean, it doesn't really feel like Gunsmoke. The arcade game is an excellent game, and this kinda doesn't really feel too much like it. Now, maybe being overly critical, I don't know, you know. It's the easiest thing in the world to look at games from like 30, 40 years ago and be critical. Or not 40, 30 years ago, yeah. But, you know, you've just got to look at it as it is, and yeah, it's alright. It's not, I wouldn't choose to play this game, put it that way, other than for the purpose of making videos. Yeah, the controls kind of spoil it a wee bit. Yeah, a bit of glitching going on there. So, but anyway, that's the C64 one. A rather lacklustre effort, in my opinion. Right, next up is the Spectrum. You know, I do like the animation there. That's pretty cool. There's a bit of delay trying to press buttons in this version. Don't know what's going on. Come on, start. I'm just hammering away at the 0 button to get it to go. Insert tape, side 2, and rewind. Come on. Dum-pa-dum-pa-dum, stop the tape. Yeah, see, multi-loads. I could not be arsed playing a multi-load tape. I mean, the thing is with these games, you can get to second level, die, then you've got to reload the whole game over again. That just killed games for me. It wasn't quite so bad when you had a disc. Right, anyway, here we go. At least we're into the game. Right, first impressions. At least it looks a bit more like the arcade one. I'm not quite sure. These guys look more like the kind of guys you would get chopping people's heads off in medieval London back in, you know, whenever it was the sort of the times of what do you call it? Times of what do you call him? He tried to burn down the Houses of Parliament. Guy Fawkes, yeah. I'm completely whittling here. Yeah, the wee guys there, they look like something out in Blackadder. That's what I should have said. You can probably relate to that more than me gibbering about Guy Fawkes. So anyway, yeah, the graphics are certainly nicer. It uses the same. See, at least that looks like a horse. You can see that's a horse with somebody on it. Whereas the C64 one was just a blocky mess. Yeah, nice detailed graphics. Very, very similar to Commando. The one thing that is a bit awkward is you can see there the bullets are little square efforts. Now they do blend in pretty well with the landscape, so it does make trying to see bullets quite awkward like that. I've just been killed. I don't actually know what hit me. And again, it uses the same controls. You basically fire in the direction you're holding the joystick, which makes it slightly difficult trying to shoot a guy straight in front of you. You've basically got to let the joystick go to shoot up. That looks like one of these bead art things. That'd actually be quite a good thing to use. Yeah. So yeah, definitely I would say this is definitely a better version than C64, which to be fair isn't really saying very much. Thing about all these arcade perfects, I mean, ultimately, yeah, hopefully you find these videos quite enjoyable, but with the advent of things like MAME, why would you want to play a home version of an arcade game when you can play the real McCoy? You know, that's the way I look at it. But don't get me wrong, there are some times where playing an arcade, or sorry, playing a home version of a game is quite good fun, especially if it was a game that you played a lot back in the day. But you know, 9 times out of 10, if I was going to play Gunsmoke, I wouldn't play the Spectrum one, I would play the arcade one. That goes for pretty much every arcade game. But it's good fun just to have a look for a laugh and see just how good or how bad some of these home conversions were. Again, sounds pretty minimalistic. It's like I said, at least the graphics in the Spectrum one are detailed. So yeah, that's the Spectrum one. Let's crack on and take a look at the Amstrad. I love the cowboy on the right hand side there. I love the use of colour. That is excellent. I like the little tune as well. What happened here? Right, okay, well you can see right away it's gloriously coloured. Really nice. That's the thing about Amstrad, it had a really, really nice vibrant colour palette. You know, games really stood out. And in the right hands, you know, the Amstrad took a lot of beating. Unfortunately, the flip side of that was some games in Amstrad were absolutely awful, but then every system had them. But yeah, I've got to say this one probably resembles the arcade one more than any of the other. Bugger off! That guy was chasing me. Yeah, it certainly it retains the sort of the real cartoony look, especially the little portrait on the right hand side. Once again, it uses exactly the same controls as the Spectrum and the C64, i.e. you shoot in the direction you're moving, which does make shooting straight up a wee bit difficult if you've just got to kind of let the joystick go. Whoops. And like the Spectrum, you've got a nice little picture you could use for your bead art thing. A little thing where you put beads and then you iron it, and then you've got a nice little sprite design to stick on your bedroom wall. But yeah, it's interesting that this game, although it was released obviously for these consoles, it never really it didn't get wide exposure. I mean, why wasn't it released on the 16-bit machines? Obviously from a licensing point of view, but even the arcade game, I'd never heard of Gunsmoke, never heard of it until I got MAME, and then I realised what it was. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier with the C64 one, well, it wasn't the C64, it was the Spectrum one. You know, that was one of the problems that they had with later games. As arcade games became bigger, not even arcade games, but as games became bigger and consumers wanted more, then you know they couldn't. Consumers weren't satisfied to just get a game in the confines of the memory. They wanted games with bigger graphics, more levels. So that pushed companies onto utilising the tape loaders, and yeah, it's just, you know, when you're playing a game and you get to the second level and you die, you've then got to reload the game from scratch, which was just annoying. It really was. And I mean, I was lucky enough to have a disc drive, but there's just simply no way that I would be entertained playing a multi-load game in a tape. It was just too much a bollock when you died, having to reload the thing, and you know. But yeah, got to say, this is a really nice version. Controls aren't perfect, but it's probably the best of the ones I've looked at so far. Graphics are nice and colourful, quite detailed as well. I mean, you can actually see that wee guy's got a beard, which is a nice touch. Not any music written off in this one, but you know. So yeah, that's the Amstrad one, and we've got one more version to look at. Right, okay, the last one is the NES one, released in 1988. And in typical Nintendo fashion, they always like to sort of pad out any arcade conversions on the system, which is absolutely fine. I mean, some of the arcade conversions on NES, they would kind of remix the levels, they would change the graphics, you know, which was sometimes a bit annoying because people wanted the arcade version, but you know, to add extra cutscenes in that, it's just a nice little touch. Yay! At last we've got a version that actually looks like the arcade one. Now, right away, instead of having 3 fire buttons, this one utilises 2. You can actually shoot straight up, at least I can't figure out how to do so, but you can shoot either up to the left or up to the right, which is perfectly workable. At least this one's got the scale of the arcade and it actually looks like the arcade. Actually looks like Gunsmoke. Alright, okay. Just what I was saying, yeah, they've added a shop where on your side shotgun. Well, I've not got enough money, I don't think. I don't know how much money I've got actually. Does it tell me anywhere how much money I've got? I can't see it. I can see my score, but I don't see any indication of money. Avoid these little, I was going to say pipe bombs, I don't know what they are actually. I don't think pipe bombs not back in the Wild West. What's this guy wanting? Right, so you can kind of upgrade or buy a horse. So there's that guy that I saw in the arcade one, the guy that jumps across the screen, don't know what he is. Oh, that was close gov. Certainly a bit easier than the arcade one, which is no bad thing, and it's actually really playable. Excellent graphics, really nice use of colour as well. I like how they've got the right kind of dinky wee graphics. Really nailed it. So, anyway, yeah, that is the NES one. That is the last version we're going to look at, so let's do a little summing up now. Right, so 8-bit wise, we looked at the C64. Nah, not very impressed with that. Graphics are way too pixely looking. It doesn't even retain the original look of the arcade one. So I think that was quite a disappointment, that one. Spectrum one did look nice. It looked better than the C64. It kind of retains the look of the arcade. It obviously uses a kind of higher res, and albeit it is in kind of black and white or sort of monochrome. Amstrad one, really nice, looks the part, looks really nice. The one thing that let all 8-bit versions down, in my opinion, was the controls. You know, you had to, it only shot bullets in the direction you're moving, which made it slightly more difficult, but I think it's safe to say that Amstrad one is certainly the best 8-bit. But I think the NES one is, you know, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's arcade perfect. It certainly offers the best home experience, you know. So I think in third place we're going to go for the Spectrum. Second place it's going to be the Amstrad, and in first place it's going to be the NES. Now obviously if you've got MAME, which everybody should have, if you're watching this channel chances are you have MAME, go and play the arcade one, because I don't think there's any home version that really, you know, comes near to the arcade one, so go and play it on MAME. However, there was numerous compilations released for like the Xbox, the PlayStation 2, the GameCube I think, PSP, you had your Capcom collections. This game does appear in these, so if you want the best versions you can go and play it on them. But as usual guys, hope you enjoyed watching it, and thank you very much for watching.